And today is day number 30 of Heather Carter's 31 Days of Witchcraft Challenge. Oh my gosh, it's almost over. And today's question is, how do you feel about the popularization of witchcraft in social media? I think that there are pros and cons to the popularization of witchcraft in social media. Some good things that I enjoy about it are for people like me that don't know a lot of witches in person. Social media is a great place to have sort of community and be able to talk to other witches and share ideas and inspiration. And if you're celebrating a Sabbat or something and you want to tell somebody Happy Litha, there's people who will say Happy Litha back to you, things like that. In my non-social media life, I only have 2 witchy friends, and one lives in a town rather far away, and the other one lives all the way in Canada. So I really like the social aspect of witchcraft in social media. And I feel like as things become more popular in social media, people who make things and sell things will see a need. They will fill that need. And that is another place where there can be both pros and cons with that. Because as witchcraft is becoming more popular in general, and social media is a big part of that, then things become more available in shops. And some of those things I love. I love that I can just go to a store and get like a pretty hair stick that has a ginormous pentacle on it, and all the little witchy accessories that I like. But on the other hand, there can be sort of a shallow witchy consumerism where some things that are witchy and are aimed at us may not actually, some of them may not actually even be made by fellow witchy people. Some things that may have cool symbols that we understand may be made by people who maybe they don't even know what that symbol means, but it's kind of what's hot now. And they'll smack it on a hair barrette or something and it'll sell. And for me, that's just, the thing is still a cool thing, but it's not as cool as something that someone really put their heart into. So I have kind of mixed feelings with that sort of thing. And then also because so much of social media is visual, like with Instagram and things, where it's very picture centric, and witches share their cool altar spaces and the beautiful tools that they have, and things like that. Perhaps someone who is more new to the craft might feel sort of intimidated or feel like if they don't have those things, are they a real witch? I know when I was a new witch starting out, I had that question so often in my mind, like, am I a real witch if I don't have this, if I don't do this thing, if I don't do that thing, if I don't have this actual object? And um, with social media, I think that could increase those kinds of insecurities unless we as individuals try not to focus on those things. But those could be questions that you're asking, and you could be feeling insecure because you're new and so you don't know that these tools and things are just to help, and that you're just as much of a witch if you don't have them at all. And so there can be a sense of insecurity when it comes to material things. Um, if some people are sharing parts of their practice that seem super cool and mystical and magical, um, that could also contribute to those feelings of insecurity. I think um, when people compare themselves to what they see on social media. Because, of course, with social media, there are people who share things from their life, but also everyone's sharing what they want you to see. They're sharing the best parts, and it's not something really good to compare yourself to. I know sometimes I have that problem when I see really beautiful witchy things. Um, I I want to go out and buy them sometimes. Sometimes when it's not a good idea, and so I kind of know how that can be. Um, I know it can be like that in the tarot community, and between the tarot community and the witchy community in social media, I think there's some overlap. And gosh, I know sometimes when new decks come out and some people are having these wonderful experiences with these decks and they look so beautiful and everything, then there could be like a real fear of missing out, and people are kind of enabling each other, like, yes, get it, which can sometimes be fun, but of course it can get out of hand and it has the potential to be damaging. So those are my feelings about the popularization of witchcraft and social media. Um, since it's becoming so popular now, I wonder if we're having another witchy boom. When I became a witch when I was young in like the 90s, um, I didn't know that that was happening with a lot of girls around my age. There was sort of a teen witchy boom. And maybe that's happening again. And it can be fed via social media. And that can be good. Um, I know it was good for me. Um, but it's also good to have um, encouragement and guidance in the craft from people who are more experienced, um, people who can give you advice and things like that. And that's on social media too, but it's probably not the first thing that new witches see. And some of this I wish had been around more when I was a new witch because I could have drawn from more sources, and I would have had more places to learn and draw inspiration from and things like that. But I think you have to kind of look for it. Um, yeah, so those are sort of my thoughts about the popularization of witchcraft in social media. And I'll be interested in seeing um, what Heather Carter has to say about this and what you guys have to say about this. And also, Joey Morris did a video recently about this topic with a witch's path. And I'll be interested in watching that later. You guys might want to check it out too. But it's like an hour and a half, so I haven't had a chance yet. Um, so yeah, thanks for hanging out with me for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!